Dear Yogis, there was a master come unto the earth, born in the holy land of Indiana. Begins one of my favorite books, Richard Bach's Illusions. The thing that I like about even this brief introductory passage is that Richard Bach does not define a master as something serious, or specific, or special. His master was raised in the mystical hills east of Fort Wayne, just a regular American guy who went through the public school system and grew up like everybody else. Usually a master is not born, but made. A master makes himself great by mastering himself and his art, no matter what that art is. Yesterday I visited the holy city of Netanya in search of someone who could fix the zipper on my backpack before traveling to India. Because I'm familiar with Richard Bach, it was only a small surprise to find a master repairing bags and clothing across from the mythological central bus station in Netanya, Israel. You see, I already learned long ago that a master can show up anywhere, in all walks of life, and in any shape or size. I found Joseph through asking around a bit, and when I reached the sacred shrine of his shop, he wordlessly took my bag, sat me down on the only empty spot there was, and peered down at the zippers, moving them and shuffling his feet, finally pronouncing prophetically, 40 shekels. Curious, but extremely busy, I said, "All right," and got up to leave, saying I would return for the repaired bag after I had done some important things at the bank. But he wouldn't hear of it. He took my arm, sat me down again, and sparingly said, "Now," and "Bank is open all the time." After that he had my full attention. I sat in a shop no bigger than a closet, amongst pants without zippers, bags minus handles, shirts with half their buttons, and me, all of us awaiting the healing word or touch of this humble-looking master. He must have been 70, stooped over permanently halfway at the waist from years of bending over the small repairs that occupied him, half-moon glasses balanced at the end of his nose, and one long fingernail which I imagined him using to break open stitching at the seams. His mastery was obvious, though, not because of his age, the shop's appearance, his gaze, or talk. His mastery was obvious by the commanding presence he emitted, by the way his hands flew over the fabric, and the way he adjusted the broken zippers knowingly to do their job once again. His repair took all of 10 minutes, with no added material except for a tiny piece of wire which he fashioned into a new zipper with small pliers between his humongous fingers, ever so gracefully. His technique? He squeezed the wayward zippers back onto their tracks with some holy incantation muttered sideways to me, "It must work. It must work." Then he pushed the pliers down against the loose ends of the zipper track and, grunting with all his body weight, pressed them firmly against the table twice. That was it. Physical reality bent to the old man's will, and lo and behold, the zippers not only got fixed, but I learned how to do it myself the next time by merely observing him in the simple task of getting something broken to work again. I was rewarded in a few moments with a timeless experience of the truth in small things. The precision of manual dexterity, the smell of machine oil from the sewing machines, the sea breeze fluttering from front to back of his tiny shop, bringing with it the raw magic of the present moment, the ease with which a master can see that which is broken and restore it to balance quietly and with nearly no effort. Moments, and ordinary masters like this, teach the gift of patience when we pause in our daily life from all the most important things we have to do. Perhaps another time I would have just thrown the bag away, not bothering to fix it, opting to get a new one instead, or maybe I would have rushed away busily to come back later. In either case, I would have missed all the wonder that I had the grace to experience yesterday by allowing myself to be persuaded by the master to just sit down quietly and watch. Thank you, Yosef. Om Shanti.